Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. And yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Tuesday, guys. Happy Tuesday morning. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. Got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Tuesday morning, guys. So the reason why I have a trigger warning is because I'm going to post two videos, and it may be a trigger for individuals who've dealt with trauma, past traumas in childhood, etc., etc. So I'm going to post one of Scrappy from Love and Hip Hop, and then the second video will be from a young lady who posted a video on TikTok. But both are traumatic experience that could have happened throughout our lives, especially childhood, things like that. So I wanted to post my thoughts on it first, and I'm going to attach both of those videos along with my recording after I'm finished speaking here. But I want to jump in because I really feel like God is moving. I really feel like God is moving and a shift is happening. So let's start with Scrappy. Scrappy is on Love and Hip Hop. He's a rapper and etc. etc. I don't follow Love and Hip Hop, but I did see the video on TikTok. So Scrappy obviously have dealt with a lot of trauma in childhood, as you will see him express to his mom how it was difficult for him to live in a crack house, to live in a quote unquote whorehouse, etc., etc. Well, in the video, you see how he is at this point where he's finally releasing it. And you can almost tell if you're tapped in that this has not been a conversation that has happened before, but finally he's able to express himself. Sadly, you will also see his mom not embracing him, but instead kind of just being a little, I don't know, some have said cold, but I think too, it's important to understand that with people like his mom generations, and that may be some of you respectfully, it's hard for people to really embrace the fact that they have caused their children trauma and damage. I think it's hard for parents to grasp that because a lot of them were not taught how to be emotional enough to allow their children to express themselves without feeling like they're under attack. Many parents have damaged their children. And sadly, as you hear Scrappy say in the video, no one got him help. Where if someone had maybe stepped in and got him help in childhood, then maybe some of these things that he experienced, he would be able to know how to deal with it. But instead now, he's dealing with these issues within his own marriage that's stimulating from his own childhood. Also, you hear him say in the recording that Bambi, his wife, is quote unquote hard, just like his mother is quote unquote hard. So he has no one to go to. Well, Bambi may, all caps may, because I don't know her backstory, may be hard because she was never taught to be emotional. There's so much trauma within our community and nobody wants to speak on it. People keep sweeping everything under the rug, under the rug, under the rug. And this is why people are not healing. The first step to healing is recognizing that there's an issue, to admitting that there's an issue, because now you give God room to come in there and start really working on things. But if you're close to it and you don't really feel like there's an issue with you, then it doesn't allow God that space to come in and then start that healing process. I do believe it's so important for a woman to be a man's safe place. And I'm not speaking about being his therapist and because many people were conditioned to think that that's normal for a woman to just be a man's therapist and he can just pour all that stuff on her and she's supposed to just, be his therapist. No, but you should be his safe place where he can trust you, where he can release some of his most intimate details of things he's experienced in life without worrying about that stuff getting thrown back in his face during a disagreement, etc., etc. And then, of course, yes, be the vessel to help him, and support him through counseling, healing process, etc., etc. But If you're so closed off because you have your own traumas, then how can you help? So it's like the person, man or woman, they're bringing their trauma and their emotions to you, but you don't even know what to do with it because you're dealing with those same emotions and no one have taught you how to express and expel these emotions. So now you have two people just sitting there in toxic relationships, or even, love each other, but don't know how to deal with each other emotionally. So Scrappy had this moment, which I think is so beautiful. I could not stop crying. I won't tell you no lie. I'm very, very sensitive. But to see his mom so closed off, and she got a lot of attack and a lot of pushback for that, but I see in her spirit, she don't know how. She don't know how to be responsive to those emotions. How can someone validate your emotion? Now, it would be nice if she could just say, listen, I messed up. I'm sorry. I just didn't know what to do. Right? She did acknowledge something. She said something in regards to, that's something you experienced with me in childhood. But it would have been beautiful for her to say, listen, I messed up. All I could do is do the best that I could do. I never had my parents never taught me this or shown me this or how to raise a son. I was trying to do it on my own. Your father wasn't here. I messed up. And I pray every day that God will come in and heal you and also heal me so we can really, heal together and really try to do life the best way with the time that we have left. But again, she would have to be emotionally available to receive that. And most people are not emotionally available. Most people are moving in survivor mode. But I think it's so beautiful, the support from men as well as women that Scrappy have on that recording, which hopefully will allow men to see the importance of opening up, the importance of allowing men to see that every chick is just not vain and foolish, where she sees a man who is expressing his emotions as weak. A man who can properly express his emotions and expel that stuff in whatever way that works for him allows him to be emotionally available, which in turn is able to give you a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage, etc., 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 etc. Next to the recording, I keep saying recordings, I'm used to making recordings, the video on TikTok. If I'm honest, it probably has been one of the most realist, authentic videos that I've seen in a long time. And it's a video of a young lady who, I should have watched the video again prior to making this recording because I watched it last week. But it's a young lady who basically is stating facts that is very, very, very common within our community. And most people don't want to talk about it because, again, you have to even recognize it's a problem. And she's done that. She's at that point. See, that's the key. You got to get to the point, again, where you realize that this is not right, right? What I was taught is not right. But you can't get to that point until you invite God in. Once you invite God in, God will start to show you different examples of healthy relationships, healthy marriages, etc., etc. Or he may start to show you that stuff so you can recognize that what you were taught is not the way. And then it is your responsibility to say, okay, God, can you please help me? You've shown me this example of a healthy, happy marriage, but wow, I've never seen this. I never knew that this could even exist. So you've shown me this for a reason. Can you help me to understand what you want me to get out of this? But you have to invite him in. You have to invite him in. So this young lady is expressing through her tears, her hurt, her pain, her emotions, that she's never known how to love a man. And excuse her words, that's also a trigger warning because, she said some things in here, but again, we're all adults. Take the meat, spit out the foolishness and the bones. But she's saying that she don't know how to love a man. She wants to love a man, but all she know how to do is to, turn him out in X, Y, and Z and cook and clean, etc., etc. But she don't know how to love a man. She's never seen an example. So as you see her express herself, which is something that's very, 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 very common in the Black community, one of the most beautiful things that came out of this video, in addition to her understanding now that God is healing her, and healing hurts like hell. Healing hurts like hell because you have to go back and sit in your traumas. But one of the most beautiful things is the men, thousands of men who embraced her in this comment section. So that should be a clue to some ladies that it's true. Men are very receptive to women who are in her feminine. And again, please take the definition and do what you want to do. But the point is, she's receiving. She wants to receive. She's asking on the video or saying she don't know how to love. Well, all these men, I didn't see one one out of thousands. One was like, yeah, she only realizing that because it's too late now. And you had the men who attacked and, it defended her to the one negative comment. They're jumping all on the negative comment. It was like, listen, hold up. This is the first woman, some said, this is the first woman I've seen to even take accountability rather than blame men for her choices, because she was taught and conditioned by her mother or whoever raised her to think this way. So you're telling me that because a sister finally is getting the truth and she's ready to heal, we're going to attack her? No. We're going to be her safe place. We're going to support her. The comment section will blow your mind. And so I comment back to many of the guys. I just copy and paste, and I told them, thank you. Thank you for being her safe place. Thank you for receiving her emotions, receiving her pain, and most importantly, wanting to jump on to support her. And they all commented back and was like, listen, we love you, Black Queen. We love you, Black Queen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the whole point is this right here. That tough exterior that some, all caps, some women were taught to just be in this competition mode, obviously is not working. Men are more receptive to when you are in the receiving position. Men want to help. And let's be clear, some, a lot, not all. And so what was even more beautiful, or just as beautiful, I should say, there was a few guys who actually was like, listen, I'm a whole man up over here and I'm emotional because I feel, actually, let me read his comment right quick, because his comment then opened up for some of the other guys, many of the other guys, to agree with him, saying that they don't even know how to love properly. So one guy said, he said, profanity, but whatever. But he said, I'm crying right now and I'm a whole man, a real man. I feel this in depth, different details and traits, but the same, if that makes sense. King, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Most of us were not taught properly, including our parents and grandparents and et cetera, right? They put up with each other. This is why you had a lot of grandparents and great-grandparents sleeping in separate bedrooms. You hear about this stuff so much, sleeping in separate rooms, don't even like each other, but they had to tolerate and deal with each other. Well, that's not healthy love. That's not proper love. That's just tolerating. That's survivor mode. So where were the examples of real love, healthy love, Where were the healthy examples? Granted, now you have some households that experience that, right? And they may not have the same struggles as most. But if you've never seen your great grandmother and your great grandfather, in true, real life, okay, and your parents witnessed the same foolishness. So now your parents can only show you what they witnessed. They don't know how to be emotional. They don't know how to be sensitive. You hear people say all the time, like, well, my parents are not emotional. I've never heard my parents say they love me. I've never had my father hug me. Well, I mean, who hugged him? And it could go both ways. Sometimes it does, where the parent goes along with the conditioning, or some really break that generational cycle by going, and it's not easy for them per se, but they're determined to go the other way so their child wouldn't experience what they have experienced. But we all are just different. We can't expect one person to do what the other did. But if we never saw an example of healthy, wholesome love for the correct reason, most importantly, making sure that that's the person that God has designed for you, and that you guys are equally yoked in whatever that is for you, how do we love? How do we give love? Most of us can give love. Giving love is the easy part. For many, right? Most can give love, but most can't receive love, because receiving love requires you to be very, very vulnerable. And when you've been in survivor mode all of your life, you're in your protective state. You're in your masculine, protecting yourself. So how can you open yourself up to receive? That's difficult. And many people don't know how to do that. So I'm going to attach this, both videos to this recording, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it, because I really, really got full, but it was very, very beautiful to see that they're starting their healing process. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.
In a whorehouse. I grew up in a trap house.
Yep.
So all I knew was that, you know what I'm saying? And I love you because you held it down and like you did what you had to do. But imagine you never had
child point of view.
You never had to sleep with your mama 24/7 because you couldn't go in your room.
Okay.
You never had to walk in on my dope.
Yeah.
You never had to walk in on my just you know what I'm saying? The way I was raised, I had to deal with that because everything that happened, I had to deal with that. And I'm still dealing with it because ain't nobody come and take me to give me no help. Ain't nobody got me no help. I learned about that when I got older.
Okay, so do you...
You know, this real, cuz. Like, this this in my head, my whole life, in my head. The I go through, I can't even go to her, she hard. I can't go to you hard. So I'm on the concrete, my granddaddy ain't that hard.
Wow.
But guess what? And I ain't taking nothing from you because you put me there. You put money in my you gave me to help my rap career and all that. Ain't nobody do that but you. So I love my mama.
It's okay though.
And I love my wife.
Yeah. But I love you.
You feel me?
But this is my baby. I just can't change his diaper.
And the truth about it is, y'all, I'm hurting y'all because I want to be loved. I want marriage. You know, a lot of us get on here, we act tough and we be like, I don't want a man, I don't need a man, but I want help. I want to be loved. I want somebody to love me. I want somebody I can be vulnerable with. The problem is, and I'm not crying y'all because I'm sad, I'm crying y'all because it's like a release right now. But the problem for me, y'all, is that all the relationships that I had with men were not about love. It was about survival for me. I know how to fuck. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to seduce a man. I do not know how to love a man. And then to have a son, because of those choices that I was making, y'all, and I got pregnant really, really fast. I got pregnant within 90 days of knowing my baby daddy. And we don't talk about this shit because it's embarrassing and it hurts. It fucking hurts. And I'm mad with me. I'm not mad at men. I'm not mad at my life. I'm mad at me because I don't know how to fix me. I don't know how to fix it. That's accountability. That's the shit that hurts. It's realizing that, hey, I got some shit with me that I don't know how to fucking fix. And in turn, because I don't know how to fix that shit, I'm fucking up other people around me. That's accountability. That's the shit that we don't put on social media.